Hello, this is Ms. DB. In this video, we are going to look at some of the simplifying expressions worksheet. So at the beginning, we're going to go over some definitions here. Here we have an expression. An expression does not have an equal sign. An equation has an equal sign, an expression does not. If you're asked to simplify an expression, there's some things you need to know. These are all terms. 5a is a term, plus 7b is a term, minus 3a is a term, plus 6a squared is a term. Terms are separated by plus or minus signs. So you can count how many terms it has. You can rewrite this with the terms in a different order. But the number in front of the variable stays with it, and the sign in front of a term goes with it. So this is a plus 7b, this is a minus 3a. Like terms is when you have the exact same variable, and it has to be raised to the same power. So we have like terms of 5a and negative 3a or minus 3a, but the plus 6a squared is not a like term because it has an exponent of 2. So that does not go together with it. We can simplify by combining like terms. And when we do that, we will get an equivalent expression. So if you want, you can rewrite the expression with the like terms next to each other. When you do that, make sure that the sign and the number, the coefficient in front of the term goes with it. So it would be 5a minus 3a plus 7b plus 6a squared. You don't have to rewrite. You can just find the like terms, like these I know are like terms, and combine them in your head with mental math, 5a minus 3a. So to combine them, all you do is combine the numbers in front. So 5 minus 3 is 2, so I would write 2, and then you put the exact same variable that you had before. So this 5a minus 3a is 2a. The 7b does not have a like term, so you would just write that after it, plus 7b. And the 6a squared did not have any other like term, so you just write plus 6a squared. This is as simple as it can get. There's no variables that are the same anymore. Remember that a and a squared cannot be combined. So this would be your answer. It's simplified. That's as far as you would go on that one. Sometimes there's no number in front of a variable. You can always add a 1 there. So this is really 4w minus 1w, and then we get 3w. So what we'll be doing later this week and next week is solving equations where you first have to simplify one side of the equation, or sometimes both sides of the equation. And you might do that by combining like terms like they did here. But on this worksheet, we're only going to be combining like terms, and we're also going to do what's on this next example, using the distributive property. So you have distributive property when there's a number and then a parentheses with some terms inside of the parentheses. In this example, we have the number 6 on the outside, and then we have y plus 8 inside the parentheses. That's 2 terms inside the parentheses. The distributive property tells us, here it is over here, that if you have a situation like that, you will take a times the first term, and then you will add, because it's a plus sign in the parentheses, a times the other term. So in this one, they took 6 times y, and then we took 6 times 8, because that has to also be multiplied by 6. Then we simplified both parts. 6y is just 6y. 6 times y is just 6y. 6 times 8 is 48. Now we look for like terms. 6y minus 5y are like terms. And 6y minus 5y, you just combine the number parts, the coefficients. 6 minus 5 is 1, so we'd have 1y plus 48. The 48 just gets rewritten. You could also write that as y plus 48. Either of these answers are correct. You don't have to change one to the other. So on your worksheet, you just have a bunch of problems to practice. You're going to have some where you just combine like terms, and then other ones where you have to also do the distributive property. Remember that you only combine the numbers in front of the like variables. You don't do anything with the variables themselves. In number 3, we have negative 3a plus 9a. So you think to yourself, what's negative 3 plus 9? You can use a calculator to check if you need to. What I always tell my students is think about this as being -3 degrees outside, and then the temperature rises 9 degrees. So now we're above 0, and we're above 0 at 6. So -3 plus 9 is 6, and then you just write the A after it. Now in number 4, the problem originally said -8r minus r, but I added the 1 there. So this is -8r minus 1r. So you're going to combine the -8 minus 1 and see what you get, and then write that with the r after it. In number 5, we have 17x plus 6y plus what x? What do we put in front of the x if there's no number there? Put a 1. So 17x and 1 plus 1x will go together because they're like terms. And positive 6y plus 3y can go together because they're like terms. So when you're all done with this, you'll have something x plus something y. And on these blanks, you'll just put the numbers that you get when you take 17 plus 1. That's what will go there. And then 6 plus 3 will go here. In number 6, there's decimals, but that doesn't matter. You still just add them together. In number 8, we have x squared, and x squared. They're all like terms. So you can go ahead and combine the 14 minus 5 plus 3, and your answer will be something x squared. Now sometimes, like in number 9, there is no like terms. There's nothing we can do to simplify this one. You can write already simplified or cannot simplify or something like that. Or you could just rewrite 3x minus 8. Now the next batch, most of these you will use the distributive property. Well, not most of them. I guess about half of the rest you'll use the distributive property. Let's look at number 15. In 15, we're going to use the distributive property first, and then we'll combine like terms. So we have 2 times a. We can just write that as 2a. Now there's a minus sign, so I'm going to write a minus, and then 2 times 1. Now you can write 2 times 1, or you could do that in your head as you write it. So now I'm going to simplify. 2a, or 2 times a is 2a, minus 2 times 1 is just minus 2, and then plus 4a. So now we just have a problem where we're looking for our like terms, and we have to combine our like terms. So we'd have 2a plus 4a is 6a, and then the minus 2 would just get written at the back. In number 16, remember that x and x squared are not like terms. You cannot combine those. That 3x squared is not going to have any like terms with it. And let's look at one more. Let's do number 18. So in number 18, I'm going to probably need some room on this one. On number 18, the first part that I'm going to do is just rewrite these first 3 terms down, and then I'm going to do the distributive property. Now this one's tricky. We have a minus 2 times y, or you can think of that as being a negative 2 times y. And then we have, here's the tricky part, we have negative 2 times negative 1. And a negative times a negative is positive. So when we simplify this end part here, we're really going to get a plus 2. Because negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. Then you can look for your like terms. There's quite a few y's here. We have 7y plus 6y minus 2y. Don't forget that minus sign goes with the 2y. So you'll combine those. And then these are also like terms. Negative 3 plus 2. So 7y plus 6y, we're going to just go in order. 7y plus 6y is 13y minus, maybe we should rewrite these next to each other. 7y plus 6y minus 2y. And then the number parts would be minus 3 and then plus 2. So you'll combine all of these y's, just the numbers in front get added as you go or subtracted, And then for the number part, it'll be minus 3 plus 2 or negative 3 plus 2. So for the number part, I'll let you do the y part, but for the number part, it'll just be minus 1. So whatever you get for the y, and then minus 1. All right, I think you'll do fine on this. Please let me know if you get stuck or if you have any questions as you go. Thanks a lot and have a great day.